1. Return to the forest. The Casey Hathaway mystery. Reddit. Thread. More thoughts on the missing North Carolina boy possibly protected by a Bigfoot. User. Tracker date. Park Narc. Was 6.7 years ago. 12-year-old Casey Hathaway vanished from Robbins, North Carolina on January 3, 2004. After 2 nights of frantic searching, he was found half a mile from his home, deep in woods that had already been combed by search teams and scent dogs. No tracks led either to or from his recovered location. One user wrote, "The idea that Casey was abducted then put back in the woods makes perfect sense if you consider that what picked him up was a Bigfoot. The chilling possibility, something took him, then returned it, erasing its own tracks, leaving only the boy's path behind." 1. Abduction theories. Bigfoot as kidnapper. Reddit. Thread. Bigfoot speculation related to abductions. User. Date. Aben Colby, or 7 months ago. In a thread exploring the intersection of missing persons and Bigfoot lore, one user posits that Sasquatch might act as an abductor. The hypotheses include dark ideas: abducting human adults for breeding, abducting children to raise among cryptids, abducting for food supply, cannibalism in fringe cases. The post references David Paulides' Missing 411 series and asks others, "I'm curious to hear what others feel would be a Sasquatch's motive for abducting humans." The thread is a breathless speculation chamber, no case anchored, but a thematic voice that sits between the stories. What if the forest's silence is intentional? 1. Human remains in Gifford Pinchot, silent footprints. Reddit. Thread. Third set of human remains found in Gifford Pinchot. User. Date. Tatankalot and others. 1 year ago. In Washington's Gifford Pinchot National Forest, a third discovery of human remains in a region already tied to missing persons ignited local fear. The forest is littered with previous cases, experienced outdoorsmen vanishing with no rational cause. One commenter explained, "This disappearance doesn't make sense without there being a reason beyond mere accident. When bodies appear where previous searches turned up nothing, a forest becomes haunted, not by ghosts, but by questions." 1. Portlock. Legends of Abandonment. Reddit. Thread. The true and frightening story of Portlock, Alaska. User. Date. Pocket Weasel, UK. 2.8 years ago. Portlock, Alaska, also known as Port Chatham, is said to have been abandoned under terror. Locals claim mutilated bodies, massive footprints, and a hairy beast stalking the woods. The dramatic narrative: residents fled in fear of Bigfoot attacks. Reddit users push back. No historical records confirm these macabre details. One warns, "Don't believe everything you read." The Bigfoot stories came from just one person many years after the event. Use this as a story of how myth and memory collide, how one person's fearful narrative can take root and propagate in shadow. 1. The Vanishing Midcall. Reddit. Thread. Missing man on phone, RR Bigfoot. User. Date. Unknown. A man was supposedly on a phone call when he vanished. The call ended in abrupt static. The phone potentially remained connected. No sign of struggle found near the last known signal point. No footprints, no clues, no distance traveled. The horror lies in the last moment. The voice cut off, the line open, the silence left behind. 1. Bigfoot's daughter, the lone return. Reddit thread. 43-year-old man takes a 16-year-old girl in the mountains, returns alone. Bigfoot stole her, he explains. User. Date. Unknown. The tale: a 43-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl go camping in remote wilderness. Only he returns. When pressed, he claims, Bigfoot stole her. Searchers find torn clothing on a trail, but no body, no footprints beyond that point. The man insists on the creature's involvement. Authorities are skeptical. The public divides between disbelief and fascination. It's a case of uncanny disappearance turned into legend by the man who survived. 1. Cabin under siege. Rocks in the night. Reddit thread. What is one sighting or story that really convinces you that Bigfoot is real? User. Date. Multiple. Arshal 1 year ago. One user recalls a Canadian remote frontier location. accessible only by plane landing on a lake. Occupants of a cabin heard rocks being thrown at the structure. They mounted a board lined with nails across the doorway to capture evidence. They retrieved it 1 year later, with blood stains. DNA analysis purportedly showed a substance similar to human mixed with ape. The user wrote, "They had to fly in on a lake and rocks were being thrown at the cabin. They set up a nail-bedded board at the front door, got the blood off it. DNA was basically human, but with some ape genes too. It's a classic spine chill. Invade my walls, leave traces, and vanish." 1. Two silhouettes in twilight. Reddit. Thread. I have a cold and am sad. Tell me your Bigfoot encounter story. User. Date. One cheeky monkey. 3 years ago, the user recalls a childhood memory. On acreage in the south, far from roads, they were four-wheeling after Thanksgiving weekend. In a clearing, they saw two figures walking upright away from them, too large and bipedal to be bears or hogs. When they stopped to stare, the figures melted into the tree line. Could have been a bear or hog, but they don't run away on two legs. No footprints were left at the spot. No recognition, no catch. Just the glimpse of shapes receding into forest dusk.
And here's the kicker. The government tried to confiscate this footage because of what it revealed about Bigfoot. In 1984, Raymond Cutter, a former park ranger, tracked down something massive through the Cascade Mountains for 3 nights straight. What he captured on tape? Not just a blurry silhouette, but behavior, intelligence, patterns. Raymond discovered that Bigfoot doesn't wander aimlessly. It follows the Earth's magnetic grid. He claimed it traveled between specific ley lines, sleeping in shallow underground nests lined with cedar and moss. Even stranger, he recorded it, emitting a soundless pulse that disrupted his compass and made birds fall silent. And here's the kicker. Bigfoot left behind carvings, not scratches, symbols, almost like a language. One the U.S. Forest Service allegedly flagged as unknown glyphs of non-human origin. They raided Cutter's cabin 2 days later. The original tapes were taken. What's left are degraded copies he buried in the woods. This is one of those copies. There's a lot more they don't want you to see.
This hunter managed to scare off the legendary Sasquatch before it nearly brutally attacked him. While hunting for sport in Colorado, a man notices this giant, hairy creature walking across an open field. Thinking that it was a bear at first, he aims for it, but the Sasquatch notices this and attempts to chase him down. Managing to get away in time, the hunter films the creature from afar, sending the Bigfoot community into a frenzy. But what do you think?
Check out this video sent to me by a follower. Do y'all see that? This is a leaked video from a special team assigned to watching over these. Do y'all look? Oh my gosh. Look at the family of them. You see them, baby?
For decades, the existence of this elusive creature has been a giant mystery. In this video, which will show you in 4K, you can clearly see a figure leaning against a tree, seemingly eating some type of plant, and even glancing at the hiker. If you're wondering where this happened, it was filmed just 2 hours from Oklahoma City in the parallel forest. I am still investigating this incident, but check out this incredible footage of what looks like Bigfoot in the woods of Oklahoma. The video went viral just 24 hours ago, and no one is sure what this massive 8 to 9 foot tall creature really is.
What is that?
My Bigfoot?
Yeah. Is that a Bigfoot or not?
Bigfoot or not?
This new horrifying trail camera clip has been going viral. It comes from Georgia, and it was just posted on April 19th, 2025. The uploader, Dead Cinema on TikTok, states, quote, "Unbelievable Bigfoot sighting caught on trail cam in Georgia. Witness the moment this elusive creature stares and examines our camera, raising more questions than answers." End quote.
Bigfoot makes national news after randomly appearing in Utah. Within the foothills of northeast Provo, a group of guys stopped their truck in the middle of the road because of this bizarre giant creature that caught their eye walking on top of a hill. They knew right away that this wasn't a person based on its monstrous size alone, and the main guy in the video wanted to take it upon himself to hunt down this beast to really prove what they were seeing wasn't just a figment of their imagination. When he took to the mountain, he kept reporting back to his buddies on his walkie-talkie while recording his adventures that he was no longer seeing regular animal footprints. He states, "So I'm seeing something that's not deer tracks anymore. We're trying to determine what it is." Researchers that looked over these videos were highly skeptical that it was Bigfoot. To no one's surprise, managing to get away in time, the hunter films the creature from afar, sending the Bigfoot community into a frenzy. Bigfoot was spotted just a month ago at Olympic National Park. Dr. Samantha Reeves was out there conducting a nocturnal wildlife survey, and she heard heavy footsteps and wood knocks. Then, a dark shape emerged from the fog, and it was a massive bipedal creature covered in thick, matted hair. Samantha then heard a deep growl, and it's been said that this creature chased her for an estimated quarter of a mile before disappearing back into the forest. Olympic National Park is known for many Bigfoot sightings, so I'm sure there will be many, many more. Bigfoot was captured out in the Canadian woods. North America seems to be a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings, and especially in Canada, there seems to be more stories like this emerging on the internet. These investigators were given footage of a supposed Bigfoot ducking out of view in front of the camera. We don't see much of the creature aside from its massive, furry back. Its fur doesn't look like a bear's. It definitely looks thicker, as well as it appears there are a bit of trap muscles on him as well. It does just look like a beefier person, but I don't think it's a costume. These investigators take it upon themselves to try and recreate the same video to really compare the size difference to help prove its legitimacy. From this, they were able to get a really good comparison on how much bigger the creature actually was. Bigfoot was baited out with apples and the smell of rotting meat. Throughout all these years, we still have no idea what the diet of this avoidant creature is. If it's anything like regular animals though, these people had the right idea, setting a trap with those specific items. Out in the middle of the woods, a group of friends placed their delicious treat for the monster just right next to a tree and laid in wait just a couple of meters away from the spot. Not long after, they heard the sound of twigs breaking and branches snapping. Something big was making its way over to the trap. This 10-foot bipedal creature finally revealed itself, shadowing over the pile of rotting meat and apples and taking a seat. Not wasting any time, the Bigfoot hunters took out their camera to record, but the swiftness in their movement did spark Bigfoot to get up and quickly get out of there.
Is this just an elaborate hoax, or is this some of the clearest footage of the elusive Sasquatch?
Captured on a game trail camera. As you can see, this deer here was captured on camera, and you're gonna see some more deer that was captured on camera. But the strange thing is, you're gonna see this black figure start to emerge from the back. You see this deer turns and look. These deer here are just looking around, but keep watching. Here it goes. Check it out. As you can see, he's right there, and he walks over this way. He pans over that way. Check him out, you guys. This was recorded in the background. See that black figure? It looks like he's walking on 2 feet. And this was recorded on a game trail camera, you guys. Run it back one more time so you can see him. Check it out. Step 1, step 2. And he just cruises over. They're out there, you guys. Be careful.
One of the most famous incidents occurred in 1988 in the North Georgia mountains, where several witnesses reported seeing a large hairy creature. Footprints measuring over 15 inches were also found in the area, fueling local speculation. Back onto the topic of this video clip though, one of the top comments reads, "That actually looks more convincing than all those other ones that look like Bigfoot just got groomed at a day spa with hair all perfectly smooth." Which is actually a pretty good point. A lot of times when we see photos or videos of a supposed Bigfoot, they don't look as rugged and as ugly as they should out in the wild. But the real question is though, is this close-up trail camera footage real? Or is it a clever hoax made with artificial intelligence?
Except he didn't find deer tracks, but giant Bigfoot footprints. He said the prints were approximately 7 to 8 inches apart, totaling 2 of his own strides. Now, Bigfoot specialists checked them out and said that the spacing, size, and location of the footprints are consistent with other known Bigfoot footprints.
What do you think?
Maine is a hotspot for Bigfoot. There have been many stories over the years, including a recent one where a man named Stephen Barlett was walking along his York County property looking for deer tracks during a mid-February snowstorm.
Is this just an elaborate hoax, or is this some of the clearest footage of the elusive Sasquatch? Captured on camera in a forest in Canada, this YouTuber believes he has captured the elusive Bigfoot on film. He claims the head is twice the size of a human head, and was staring back at him as he filmed. Is this just an elaborate hoax, or is this some of the clearest footage of the elusive Sasquatch?
So this video was taken at Yellowstone National Park, and coming in from right to left, you're going to see these massive creatures walking behind the buffalo. I believe them to be Bigfoots. And I'm going to give some theories on why in a second, but just kind of take a look at how they're walking, moving along. Definitely walking kind of funny for sure. So a couple things I wanted to talk about really quick. One is comparing the creature behind the buffalo. It definitely looks a lot bigger. I'm thinking 6-8 feet. Just the height. I mean, again, this is an image from very far away. Also, the body's kind of disproportionate, and it walks kind of funny, not normal. I think it's a Bigfoot. What are your thoughts? Let us know down below.
Welcome to Curious Conundrums, Mysteries Unveiled. Here, I explore Bigfoot encounters, chilling legends, and stories of mysterious creatures, drawing from trusted sources like BFRO, Net, the Internet Archives, and other unique collections you won't find anywhere else. Alongside the mysteries, you'll also see the lighter side of life with ferrets, adding a playful twist to the unknown. If you enjoy Bigfoot stories, ferrets, and the mysteries of strange creatures, I invite you to subscribe, like, and comment to help support the channel and keep the discoveries coming.
Though the fate of the authentic Bigfoot remains a subject of speculation, the current Bigfoot statue stands as a survivor in its own right. Replaced with a more durable concrete design, it continues to draw visitors. The enigma of Bigfoot at Mount St. Helens. On May 18, 1980, a date forever etched into the memory of the Pacific Northwest. Mount St. Helens erupted at 8:32 a.m. with the explosive power of 24 megatons of TNT, capable of flattening forests, evaporating lakes, and sculpting a mile-wide crater. The buried A-frame endures as a central feature of a unique tourist attraction known as the North Fork Survivors Gift Shop. Visitors once had the opportunity to explore the A-frame's ground floor, now situated below the surface. The allure of this site extends beyond the geological marvel, enhanced by an extraordinary addition: the largest Bigfoot statue yet encountered. Cowlitz County, Washington Bigfoot Encounter Report, May 1980. During one of Ray Crow's renowned Western Bigfoot meetings, a fascinating and somewhat unsettling topic emerged among the gathered enthusiasts and researchers. The discussion turned to reports of Sasquatch corpses allegedly discovered in the wake of the catastrophic eruption of Mount St. Helens on May 18, 1980. Joe Bielert offered additional context. He specified that the crane used in the Cowlitz River dredging operation belonged to the Manitowoc Company, a detail that could potentially lead to more concrete evidence. The saga took another turn with a separate but potentially related account from 1985. During a helicopter tour of the Mount St. Helens devastation zone, Bobby Short was accompanied by a Vietnam veteran pilot. The pilot recalled witnessing military helicopters transporting nets filled with the charred and semi-charred remains of wildlife, including elk, deer, and bear, as well as something more mysterious. He described seeing hairy, charred arms dangling from the drop nets. These remains were taken to a common pit, where they were incinerated to prevent disease and contamination of the region's rivers. Standing an impressive 28 feet tall, this concrete behemoth boasts intricately detailed fur and a whimsical, folklorish grin. Families are invited to gather around its massive legs for photographs, adding a playful element to the somber history. One afternoon, Beck and a companion hiked to a spring. As they filled their canteens, rustling broke the silence. Beck turned to face a 7-foot-tall creature, its blackish-brown hair unmistakable, standing 30 yards away. That night, the miners barricaded themselves inside as midnight approached. Suddenly, thud, 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 rocks battered the walls and the roof creaked under a heavy presence. Why intervene? The 1973 Endangered Species Act might compel protection. Cold War fears could drive study or weaponization of a new hominid. Public panic threatened stability, justifying secrecy. Eyewitnesses had no gain, only loss. Their accounts, backed by Mersel's 2013 casings and recent Toutle River growls, defied dismissal. The mountain's legacy persists, its restricted valleys and denied requests hinting at a living mystery.